advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jose, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
Hey, y'all. So glad you're back to Rock My Finances. So appreciate that. Today, we are going to talk about what does control have to do with money? I know if you're like me, I am a good old control freak from way back. I mean, just from chaotic childhood growing up, I had to control my surroundings, and then jumping into marriage right away and kids right away. And if my schedule was not controlled, or the house was not controlled, or my environment was not controlled, I would freak out. So what does that turn into? I started controlling people and trying to control everything around me. And that actually did affect my money world, my money life, and my finances. So we're going to talk about that today. So any control freaks out there, this is the one for you. I've been thinking a lot about emotional energy and trying to change, and how we try to change other people. Like thinking if they would just act this way or did it this way, my life would be easier, my life would be better. We always want something to change in order for us to feel, the F word, y'all, feel better. So that's what we're going to take a deep dive and look in today. So we tell ourselves that we're only trying to help, right? Like we know the right way. Plus I'm a Virgo, y'all. So that also gave me perfection. We want our spouses to communicate differently, our children to make better decisions, our clients to show up when we want them to show up and take our advice, our friends to maybe make choices better for them so that it makes our life easier, so that we don't see them going through hurt or pain. Same with kids, right? We always try to save our kids from going through hurt and pain. And of course, we know better, right? At least we think so when we're controlling. So on the surface, it looks like we're loving them. It looks like we care about them and we're concerned, and it's our responsibility. But I wonder if there's something much deeper going on. So here, what does control actually have to do with money? Actually, it's everything. After years of coaching people around money, and I've learned so many different financial decisions are just not about the zeros. It's not about the dollar and cents. It's actually about emotions. It's about our fear, our insecurity, our guilt, our shame. I know the S word, right? Uncertainty of the outcome. And yes, ultimately, control. When we think of money, we think of we're out of control most of the time. So think about it. How many financial decisions have you made because you were trying to control how you felt or how other people responded to what was actually happening? Some people overspend because buying something gives them a very temporary feeling of certainty or comfort or joy or pleasure. Some people refuse to invest because they're trying to control every single thing around them, and they can't control the stock market, so they don't even want to invest. Some people consistently check their check balance. I mean, you open up your phone, you check your checking account, your savings account balance, maybe even your investment account balance constantly, because they believe monitoring it gives them more control over the fluctuations. Others hold on to cash for years because they're having money in the bank feels safer than facing the uncertainty of investing, say. None of these behaviors have anything to do with money. It is all about you trying to feel safe. So the question is, it's not what's wrong with my financial plan or my financial advisor, y'all, or the stock market or the president or anything. It's what emotion am I trying to attain through my financial decisions? So we get to look inward. It's a completely different conversation. And control can be very expensive and cost us a lot. So one of the most expensive things we can do is confuse control with security. I've seen couples spend years arguing over money because one person wants to have the complete control over every purchase and every decision, while simply just really wants to feel trusted on making their own decisions. I've seen parents, even divorces, right? Giving money to children because saying no feels scarier than writing another check. They're afraid their child's going to retaliate or not love them or walk away or think badly of them. So many money decisions we make is based around what we think other people are going to think about us. And I've seen people delay their dreams for years because they're waiting until everything feels perfect or certain. Yes, perfectionists, I'm talking to you as well. Control feels safe in the moment, just in that moment. But over time, it actually costs us money, relationships, opportunities. It costs us peace of mind. It costs us inner peace. It costs us aging earlier, right? Like I'm so over that, right? I do not want to be doing that. So what is financial confidence and how does that help you take your control back and still be making decisions? Financial confidence isn't about knowing exactly what's going to happen with your money and exactly what to do next. It's not about having every single answer of everything down the road. There's no way we could. It is not about eliminating every risk. Financial confidence is trusting yourself to make a thoughtful decision even when life is uncertain. We know life is uncertain, right? Like my dad used to always say, there's nothing more certain than change. Like change is going to happen, which can be good and can be bad, because when you're in a bad situation, just breathe and hang on, because guess what? It is going to change no matter what. So knowing that if the market drops, you have a plan, or if you're overspending, you have a plan, or whatever it is, plan A, B, C. Life changes, you will adapt. Your plan will adapt. Your decisions will adapt. It's okay. If you make a mistake, you're going to learn from it instead of allowing it to find who you are. It has nothing to do with who you are. So real confidence isn't built by controlling the future and controlling and squeezing every little dime in your little hand and having control over everything. It's actually built by trusting yourself to handle whatever the future brings. So a different way to think about it is the next time you feel yourself trying to control something, either financially or emotionally or relationship-wise, ask yourself 3 questions. Are you ready? You got your money journal out? Yep. Come on, get that money journal out. We got to take notes. You know how it is. We get homework around here. Number 1, what am I afraid of losing? Just simply, what am I afraid of losing? It could be dollars and cents. It could be control. It could be embarrassment. It could be shame because you invested in the wrong situation. It could be losing control because you're having an advisor help you. We don't know what it is. Just write it down. Number 2, what am I actually trying to protect? Number 2, what am I trying to protect? Am I trying to protect my security? Am I trying to protect all my money? Because money is future, is security, is like everything, especially for single women. I see that a lot in my clients. We really want to make the right decision because it's just us and we're the only ones that we can depend on throughout the rest of our life, right? I've been single for like 12 years. And so I don't know if I'll be single forever or not, but when I make a financial decision or any decision, buying my house, vacation, spending this, doing my backyard, buying my hot tub, whatever it might be, it's all on me. So what am I trying to protect? So normally it's trying to protect my future, trying to protect not losing too much money, trying to protect what people are going to think about me. Am I overspending? Am I being outlandish with decisions? Am I not doing enough? Are people thinking that I'm not being a part of things enough? Like there's so many different things, right? 3rd number question, am I making the decision from fear or love? Now, you can also change that word love if you're not completely in love with yourself yet. We could say fear or wisdom. Because I believe, good old Marianne Williamson, you're either in love or fear. again, this is my thoughts, love or fear. So if you're coming from fear, that decision we do not want to make. When we're coming from love, for me, it just flows. It makes my decisions easier. I'm in the right frame of mind. I'm in my priestess zone. I'm making the right decisions for my future. Now, can things go awry? Absolutely. Can things, can I regret that maybe later? Maybe. We don't know. It doesn't matter. But all I know is if I'm coming from fear, scarcity, embarrassment, shame, that is not the time to make a decision. And that's why when I meet with my clients, I meet with them several times over and over and over again until they feel very comfortable before they make a decision. We do not want decisions made out of fear. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of financial institutions out there and marketing and all that. They want to scare you into making a decision. No reason to be scared. Absolutely no reason to be scared. We can always do plan A, plan B, plan C. Now, would you maybe not be able to spend as much money as you really want to? Yes, but it doesn't mean that you have to be in fear making a decision. So we got to look at that. Where's that coming from? That decision. So number one, what am I afraid of losing? Number two, what am I trying to protect? And number three, is that decision coming from fear or love or wisdom? Those three questions can not only change for your finances, but everything. Your relationship with your friends, your family, decisions that you're making at work. When love and wisdom is driving the car, everything becomes intentional. Do you remember back in the day when good old Oprah was talking about intention? Like, what is your intention? Like, she started every meeting off with anybody brought anything to her, she would say, what's your intention? Why are you making that decision? What do you want the outcome to be? What is the intention? I love that word. So let's bring that back. I've learned that most controlling behavior isn't really about control at all. It is usually about fear. And we have all had experiences that shape us. So maybe you grew up in a home that felt unpredictable, like I did, a little bit chaotic. Sometimes betrayal or trust. Maybe your parents might have had an affair or divorced real young or something. Maybe you lost somebody to death unexpectedly, or maybe they just left your life. Maybe you were criticized or even bullied, abandoned. Maybe you felt everything depended on you. Maybe you had an absentee parent, basically. Whatever the experience, many of us quietly made promises to ourselves to stay alert enough, to plan enough, to fix everything enough, to manage enough so that we keep ourselves safe from ever hurting again. Now, I know I did that, and that's where I became a perfectionist and a control freak, right? Because if I controlled my surroundings, I could keep myself safe up to a point, of course. The problem is that control creates the illusion of safety, right? I can't control someone else. I have no idea what they're going to do. So it makes us believe that if we can just get everyone else to behave differently, if everyone else would just do what I say, I've said this so many years, then I can finally relax. We tell ourselves that we'll feel better when our spouse change, our kids change, our friends change, our clients change, our finances improve. Everybody wants their money to be different because they think they're going to feel better when they make that extra money, when they save that extra money, when that stock market does this, or when we have a different president or this president or whatever it is. We always think we're going to feel better. It's all about that. So we've made our emotional well-being dependent on circumstances that we actually don't even control. So we're giving our power outside of us. So if they did all that, I can feel better. If that all worked out that way, I can feel better. So you're literally giving yourself away. One of the questions I ask my clients are, what are you afraid would happen if nothing changed? Or if whatever circumstance they're worried about, if that did not change, what are you afraid that would happen? Now, that's a big question. I normally say, make sure you talk with your therapist or your coach or somebody. Don't go down that rabbit hole by yourself if you're not ready for it. And then I have asked that question again and again and again and again to go down the rabbit hole to find out what is the worst case scenario. Then we sit with that worst case scenario for a minute or 5 or 10 or a day. And we feel into that. And 99.99% of the time, we create another plan to get out of that. So that way our brain knows that worst case scenario, I got this. Maybe with support, maybe not working out exactly the way I would want it to be, but I'm going to be okay. Being a certified divorce financial analyst, I have a lot of clients that are coming to me during a divorce, through the divorce, and then after the divorce. And I guarantee you 100% of the time, the way they think their life's going to be is 100% different a year later, every single time. So we have to work through that, right? We just have to create these plans to help them feel safe through that first year or 2 years or however long it takes to get through the divorce, and then be 1 year on their own. So if that's you, if you're going through a divorce or contemplating it right now, know that your life is going to change, and you can plan all you want, but you really need support during that time because it definitely changes. So sometimes the fear of financial insecurity will stop us from doing things. And it's actually fear from our childhood. Maybe fear that our marriage is going to end, that our dreams won't come true. The issues are rarely the other person. The issue is our fear that lives beneath and the need to control the outcome. The truth is that trying to control another person never heals our fear. It just can't, because they have their own agency. You have your own agency, they have their own, and we cannot control other people. It only distracts us from not being able to control someone else. So we spend so much energy and focus on what they should do differently, how we never stop asking ourselves, what is happening inside of us? We need to do that. Turn inward. What's happening inside of us? When we're going on a trip and we're planning a trip and you have somebody that wants to control every aspect of that trip, what's really happening for them? They're actually in a huge amount of fear. So we have to know that that's their insecurity coming out, trying to control that. So we have to help them breathe through that and say, even if that doesn't work out that way, it's going to work out fine. It's going to work out differently, but it's going to be okay. So where the real growth begins is not by analyzing someone else's behavior, but actually looking at our own behavior. One of the greatest signs of emotional maturity is learning to separate love from control. So I know a lot of moms were trying to control the crap out of our kids, and we call that love. It's absolutely not, because they are grown human beings on their own, and they're learning their own lessons. We cannot control everything for them. We can love someone deeply without trying to manage every decision they make. You can actually care about someone without carrying all of the responsibility for every consequence and every experience. You can offer wisdom without demanding that they accept it. We can ask, would you like to hear my opinion? If they say no, you got to shut up. As STFU, right? You can't share it when they're not ready for it. That's not giving up on people at all. That's respecting that they have their own journey. And you got to kind of give yourself some credit. You've been this parent of this child for so long. You've done a good job. Let them be them now. So when we stop trying to control everyone else, something remarkable happens. We have so much more energy to look at ourselves and to have fun. Y'all, the F word. I love fun. Like, I want to have fun every day. And when we're spending so much energy trying to control everybody else and every other thing around people, we are not even caring about what makes us happy. It becomes less reactive and more thoughtful. Our sleep is better. We become kinder. We become way more fun to be around. We begin investing in our own time and our own healing instead of someone else's resistance. We start asking different questions. We become curious about other people's lives because it's interesting, not because we want to change it. So instead of wondering how to change them, we begin asking how we can become healthier, wiser, calmer, more grounded in ourselves. And guess what? The abundance will flow. Now, I know, can I guarantee that? Of course not. But we can only control 3 things. We can control our thoughts, we can control our choices, and we can control our actions. That's what we can control. That's it. You don't control the markets, interest rates, politics, your spouse, your children. Control creates scarcity because you become alone. No one wants to be controlled. Have you ever had your spouse or your children tell you to stop? Just stop. Stop talking. Stop right there. I don't want to hear it. Or Do you get people get distant from you? Have you had friends drop away? Have you had kids not pick up the phone when you call them? It is not just about money. Scarcity is not about money. It's about being alone too, because people don't want to be around someone who's always trying to control them. Sometimes it's believing I'll be happy when my husband changes. I'll be successful when the market gets better. I'll finally relax when my kids listen to me. That's what we believe inside. But in actuality, that is giving away your power. If you've ever had any of those thoughts, you're giving away your power. Your happiness becomes dependent on somebody else's decision, which is not okay. A lot of times with couples, this hurts your money. This hurts your budgets. This hurts your future. The harder they push, the more resistance you get. So instead of trying to control another person, ask yourself, what financially example can I become? How can I show my children? How can I show the people around me? Not as a lecturer, a nagger, a controller, a Budinsky, as they used to say, but we want to pay attention to how we can support others without trying to control them. Parents often continue rescuing kids financially. Why? Because they're wanting to control the outcome. But every rescue can unintentionally delay someone else's growth. It absolutely does. It does unintentionally impede somebody else's growth. Now, coming from a codependent, making boundaries for years and years and years, I get that. I've done it. I do it. I get it. We're never perfect, but we have to look at it. So I'd like everyone now to just look at yourself, go inward, and notice the opportunity that you have to change within yourself. I promise you, you're going to be so much more healthier. Your money is going to be healthier. Your money relationship's going to be healthier. Your friends won't drop away. It'll be amazing. Now, keep looking at keep listening to the next episodes, because we have a lot more on control and the 7 wounds that actually is impeding your wealth. Thank you. I want you all to be able to listen to these episodes and to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.